Good morning. Thank you so much for the invitation to be here and to share with you what God's doing at Nicole's house. Nicole's house is a one-year, Christ-centered, transitional living program for women coming out of addiction and incarceration. And we say Christ-centered. We don't say faith-based because today, if you say you're faith-based, that means you're allowed to practice whatever faith you want to practice. So we're Christ-centered. We make no apologies for that. We think it's hard with Jesus and impossible without him. So Nicole's house is named after my daughter, Nicole. My daughter, Nicole, died from an accidental drug overdose, and I don't want another mother to receive the call that I received. So God gave me the vision to open Nicole's house. We're 5 years old, and we've served 41 women, and 31 of those women are still sober today, and you'll hear from one of them. I'm going to let her give the time because the testimony is the best thing that we can hear to see what God's doing. Now, my Nicole, she was sober for a while, but even when she was sober, she just didn't have the tools to really do well out back in the community. So we're really different than other transitional homes. We have 6 pillars to freedom, and when you come to Nicole's house, you're gonna have a pillar, a Jesus pillar, a recovery pillar, support system, self-care, life skills, and career planning. We're going to find out where you are in your walk with the Lord, and we're going to put you with a church that matches where you are in your walk. We do a spiritual assessment and ask, what do you know about the Word? What do you know about praying? What do you know about devotions? What do you know about relationship? Recovery, you're going to go to 3 to 5 meetings a week, and then you're going to also get involved in a step study program and have a sponsor to whom you are accountable. Support system, we want to make sure you don't go back to that old playground. So we're going to give you a mentor, and we're going to get people who are going to support you. So when you graduate a year later, you got all these people that are helping you, and you don't have to go back to where you were. Self-care, we're going to make sure you're going to have insurance, your health care insurance, mental health insurance, dental, vision. About 10 of our women have gotten dentures because if you're a meth user, you know those teeth break off. And so get a bicycle. We're going to talk about exercise and life skills. We're going to do a 9-week cooking and nutrition class. What else do you need? Parenting classes. The banks come in and talk to us about making a budget, balancing your checkbook. Many of them never had checking accounts before, and now they do. And then life skills, then career planning. We use felon-friendly employers, but we also look at other things. What do you want to do? Do you want a vocational career? Do you want to go back to school? Do you need your GED? Any of those things, we're going to provide those for you. We are a privately held nonprofit, so we don't receive any government funding at all. It's our budget's about $150,000 a year. For us to, and we are totally dependent upon the community and their generosity and how God nudges everybody. But I think the best thing is for you to hear what Zoe has to tell you. She's just one of 41 women who have come to Nicole's house, and I want her to share with you in these last 3 minutes what God's done for her at Nicole's house. And can I borrow that? All right, Zoe.
Hello, my name is Zoe. I was born and raised in Joplin, Missouri, and I grew up in church, but I didn't have a relationship with Jesus like I do now. When my son was 20 months and my baby girl was 8 weeks old, I became a single mother with severe postpartum depression. I decided to move out of state for a new start. The problem was all the apartments had a long waiting list, so I started living in a hotel. My mother decided to watch my kids until I got an apartment. But then I started dating a crystal meth addict, and I fell into a toxic, codependent relationship, and that began my downfall. We became junkies, which led us to selling and cooking meth, and eventually I lost everything. But my family never stopped praying for me. I woke up 5.5 years later, having nightmares about my kids. So I got on my knees like I did as a little girl, and I prayed for help. I wanted Jesus and my family back in my life so badly. I was at my place of surrender, and God came after me. Something told me if I went on a walk, I would find my family again. So I did. An hour later, I was arrested and taken to Benton County for a FTA, which is a failure to appear felony warrant that I've been running from for 4 years. I was down to 95 pounds and had hepatitis C, and I was sent to the hospital to be treated for malnourishment. After I collapsed on the floor while I was being booked at the jail, I prayed again, and then I heard about Nicole's house. I reached out to my family and asked them to pray, because if two agree on earth about anything they may ask, it shall be done. Matthew 18:19-20. After only 33 days, I signed a plea bargain for probation, and I ran out of jail into my dad's arms. He baptized me, and I was able to see my kids for the first time in 5 years before he dropped me off at Nicole's house. 2 days later, I was hired at Taco Casa. I am now financially responsible by following a budget, paying my fines and probation fees on time, and saving money for after I graduate on October 2nd. I now have a driver's license and my own vehicle. And at Thanksgiving in November of 2021, I felt like the prodigal son, because my grandma cooked a 19-pound turkey, and my family welcomed me home with open arms. It was the very first Thanksgiving I ever had with my daughter, and sitting at the Thanksgiving table, I saw a picture hanging on the wall that said, "Those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint." Isaiah 40:31, and that became my favorite verse. Jesus has given me new strength. Now every morning I wake up, I pray, and I read a devotional out of the Bible. I no longer wake up with guilt, shame, or remorse. Instead, I wake up with peace and joy. My relationship with Jesus is indescribable. He has healed my hepatitis C through prayer. He has restored my relationship with my family, and I can never thank him enough for saving my life and for letting me be a part of Nicole's house. This program has been life-changing for me. I have a case manager, Jackie, who has taught me a lot about boundaries and godly dating. A house leader, Sandy Moe, my mentors, Annie, Colleen, and Helen, my sponsor, Chris, and my counselor, Nicole, as well as so many volunteers who I'm proud to call my friends. They are always there for me. When I first came, I made a bucket list of things I wanted to do in my life. One of them was to go hiking at Devil's Den State Park, and the other was to find an arrowhead. Thanks to Rhonda and Clyde, both of those things happened. And since coming to Nicole's house, I have also received new clothes and a bicycle, for which I am grateful. I have learned to cook, I go to at least 5 recovery meetings a week, and I attend a wonderful church. I want to thank everyone for all your prayers and support on my journey to freedom, because today I am 1 year sober.